Welcome to the Trump Breaking News Network, your daily source for up-to-the-minute Trump news. Join us today and every day. Here's today's news.
This is TBNN.
Breaking: Trump meets with anti-human trafficking experts, promises to use the full force of government to stop it. By Justin Deschamps. Moments ago, President Donald Trump vowed to end the deplorable practice of human trafficking, responsible for supplying children to pedophiles across the world. The president appeared on cameras amidst an expert group of anti-human traffickers, presumably advising the U.S. leader of how to handle the endemic problem. This announcement comes after several moves by the president, which appears to be preparing for some kind of roundup of child sex predators. Related Ashton Kutcher in war against pedophiles and sex trafficking. Several weeks ago, Trump signed Presidential Executive Order on enforcing federal law with respect to transnational criminal organizations and preventing international trafficking, which specifically outlined provisions for dealing with human trafficking. Sec. 2. Policy. It shall be the policy of the executive branch to a. Strengthen enforcement of federal law in order to thwart transnational criminal organizations and subsidiary organizations, including criminal gangs, cartels, racketeering organizations, and other groups engaged in illicit activities that present a threat to public safety and national security and that are related to, for example, I. The illegal smuggling and trafficking of humans, drugs or other substances, wildlife, and weapons. 2. Corruption, cybercrime, fraud, financial crimes, and intellectual property theft, or 3. The illegal concealment or transfer of proceeds derived from such illicit activities. b. Ensure that federal law enforcement agencies give a high priority and devote sufficient resources to efforts to identify, interdict, disrupt, and dismantle transnational criminal organizations and subsidiary organizations, including through the investigation, apprehension, and prosecution of members of such organizations, the extradition of members of such organizations to face justice in the United States and, where appropriate and to the extent permitted by law, the swift removal from the United States of foreign nationals who are members of such organizations. In tandem with these moves by Trump, several alleged insiders and whistleblowers came forward claiming a war between hidden forces within government is currently at play. Robert David Steele is a former CIA man that claims President Trump is surrounded by criminal elements bent on compromising his administration. Furthermore, an alleged DHS insider had this to say recently, as reported by your Newswire. Q. So it seems like the intel community has it in for Trump. How can he protect himself? 8. Trump has a tremendous opportunity here, but needs to circle wagons. The travel ban included 7 countries chosen by both Jared Kushner and Rudy. Why did it not include Saudi Arabia, or Pakistan, or Turkey or other countries that hate us? The 7 nations mentioned were chosen by Israel, that's why. And the unspoken alliance of Israel and Saudi Arabia should be exposed. They are brother and sister. Jared Kushner needs to be careful with what he says and to whom. But, the biggest thing Trump can do is expose Pedogate via Sessions. Big names will go down hard, and it gets the bloodsuckers drained from the swamp. There are as many pedophiles on the Republican side as there is with Democrats, but Trump is in a unique position to truly clean up Dodge, so to speak. I can tell you that what is in Anthony Weiner's hard drive, and what videos exist via Jeffrey Epstein, will bring massive arrests, in time. Trump's legacy could be truly great if he was to purge the CIA, stop the extortion, prosecute the pedophiles and reinstate the death penalty for pedos convicted a second time. Pedogate is his path to greatness. At this time, it is unclear if this source is valid. And lastly, the buzz surrounding #Pedogate and #Pizzagate, the terms used to refer to a high-level pedophilia network centered in Washington D.C. is still quite high. The reporter Ben Swan covered the story earlier this year and immediately received backlash, disappearing from the media for several weeks. Pizzagate was deemed to be fake news by the mainstream media, despite the fact that prima facie evidence connecting Comet Ping Pong to child sex rings is abundant. Trump's meeting today might be an indication that a takedown of criminal elements within government could be imminent. However, there is another possibility to consider. What if, like in other power transitions in history, only some of the criminal elements in power were removed, leaving those allied to Trump and his supporters in place? If a large swath of pedophilia arrests occurred, likely many people would assume all of them have been dealt with. But this could simply be a ruse, a way to divert attention and blame from one group to another, a coup involving a false flag arrest event. The people, in seeing the arrests go through, would feel much better about their government, and may even blindly endorse it in the future. Whether or not arrests take place in Washington is still a topic of speculation. However, there is enough evidence in the public record to continue to educate the masses about the deplorable practice of human trafficking and pedophilia.
That's the news. Join us here every day. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell. See you next time.
This is TBNN.